Hello, hello. So this time around we have mono water. I'm just going to jump into it. So this should be an easy mulligan. Oh no, he says he already mulled. Okay. So Freya. Well, he was saved a bit here because he drew the Bran back up. So easy summoner. Between the Lev and the Rosa, you're against for what to discard. Because you see lightning, it's okay to keep the Leviathan, because we don't know what type of lightning it is. So overall, looking fine. Estinian, so potential for Dragoon. Okay, he's playing Dragoons. As soon as you see this this Dragoon go to the drop zone, he's playing Dragoons. Alice, okay. This is Alice trigger. Unfortunate. Okay, so here is yeah, Brani search a Lena target, so the knight is the best Lena target. And then Leviathan's okay, yeah, you can pitch the knight here. I was going to say Leviathan's usefulness has dropped to basically 0, so Lev would be an easy discard as soon as you know that they're playing this type of deck, because the only removal they have is the well, other than the Freya's Cherry Blossom, it's the Dragoon that reveals 4. But it's fine to discard the Knight because you're likely playing Lena next turn to get back the Knight anyway, so it doesn't matter too much, basically. I hit with his Alice trigger this time. Let's see what he goes for. Okay, Sarah searching. King of Bermissia, probably. Unless if he already has... Well, he has the Cherry Blossom Fair in hand, so... Okay, I was going to say, because he already has the Cherry Blossom Freya in hand, he might not necessarily need the King of Bermissia to get another Freya. But yeah. In which case, Princess Sarah would be good. So this Leviathan has negative value. So this turn should be pretty simple. Pitch one of the Levs, play Lena, get back Knight. Okay, so he's playing Viking. Okay, so let's take a second here. So last turn when I mentioned about Lev being the worst card in his hand, if he had have pitched the Lev that turn, he would be able to get away with going Viking Knight this turn instead of Lena Knight, and see what his opponent does. Maybe he draws another Knight, maybe the Knight dies, then you can play the Lena, bring back Knight. But I don't like playing this Viking here because your turn's really awkward now. Because now you go like... Because now you kind of are forced into going tap 1, discard 2, play Lena, tap 1, discard, play Rosa to use all of your backups efficiently. The other thing you can do this turn is like play White Mage and play Rosa as well to try to use the mana efficiently. That way you hold on to Cagnazo and the Lena for later. That might be okay actually, but your board is very weak if you do that. 7,000 is your biggest unit. I mean, 7 would still be your biggest if you played Lena, but you'd have 2 of them. So White Mage part, okay. There's no reason to keep Summoner up, as far as I'm aware. They don't even play summons. Or if they do, they've got like 3, maybe 6, so you don't really need to keep Summoner up. The Leviathan is providing no value, and it won't provide value in this matchup. Like, it can help you block an additional unit or something like that, but honestly it's providing little to no value, so you're better off putting an extra unit in play here. Because you need a big board, then you need to Cagnazo their Cherry Blossom Freya away. Because the way that you lose this matchup is the Cherry Blossom wiping your board and then doing a bunch of damage. So you want to put a lot of units in play and start racing them, and then you try to they try to cheat the racing with giving the units haste, and you try to cheat the racing by clearing their board with the Nazo. So not a fan of this turn. I hit with the Alice again. Very sad. Especially because the opponent has cards like White Mage in their deck. There's got more chances to miss. see what they go for. We know that at the very least, like, the Dragoon player should be able to comfortably just go to 5 backups here. He's under very little to no pressure. So something like King of Bermisia Search, second copy of Freya, or the Removal Dragoon into the 5th backup Dragoon is what I would have liked to have seen. I mean, I don't mind getting angry here, but I think given the opportunity to go to 5 backups, you should probably go to 5 backups, especially because you're against Mono Water, and there is no way that Mono Water can remove the Alice from the field. This attack is nonsense, you just block with the White Mage, it doesn't die. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's no summons or anything, so... Oh, you're saying you should read. Yeah, that's fair. Plays Dragoon. Yep. See, I would have liked to see him go to 5 backups here. And go to 5 backups and maybe even play this Dragoon, so he has something to contest both, because the forwards that the Mono Water player has in play are so weak that simply this Dragoon is enough to stop them, and as you saw, the Freya got 0 value by attacking. So basically, he would have the same board, but instead of a Freya, have King of Bermisia, an extra card in hand. Princess Sarah. So, if we go back to last turn, when I mentioned not playing out the Viking and just Lena Knighting, then this Layla would be live. We'd be able to go something like Layla Rosa, or even like Kagnazo. Wait, if we have the Lena Knight out with Nazo, that's 1, 2. The Layla Viking 3. The Nazo itself 4. So we'd have to play Sarah and maybe Verxl as well this turn. Maybe board clear isn't possible this turn. I don't know exactly how many cards we would have in hand. Oh, well, we would just have 1 less card in hand, I believe. Let me think. So we drew this turn, and we drew 1 from the Vikings, so negative 3 cards from our hand. 3. And we would have the Viking in hand and the White Mage and the Lev in hand. So if we went Lena Knight, we went 4, we'd start this turn on 6. With 6 cards in hand, we'd be able to go pitch White Mage and Viking, play Layla, bring back Viking, put us up to 5. Then the Sarah would be probably just discard 2, let's say, just discard Rosa and whatever we drew off of the Viking, for example. Play Sarah, use Sarah to search Princess Sarah, tap 1, play Princess Sarah, then tap 1, discard, play Kagnazo, and then our board would be Kagnazo, Lena, Knight, Layla, Viking, which is 5, plus we'd be on 5 backups, which makes 10, so we'd have 10 for Kagnazo, which is enough to do 5, which is enough to clear the Freya. I need to double check the exact text on the Dragoon. I don't know if it just gains for forwards named Dragoon or backups as well. Dragoon. I should really know these Dragoons. Job name Dragoon and card name Dragoon other than Dragoon. You control gets plus 1,000 power. Okay, so that thing would live on 2,000, but then you can push your damage through anyway. So the point is that we would be at... The point is that at the end of this play we'd be at 5 backups, 5 forwards, including Princess Sarah, and he wouldn't have his Cherry Blossom Freya. Sorry, Metal Buddha wouldn't have their Cherry Blossom Freya on the field. if we'd have followed that line. Like, that would have been the optimum thing to do. From here, though, because this is the world we find ourselves in, very stuck for options. One thing that you can do is just attack with the Viking here, because you're damage racing. The nature of this matchup is to damage race. So attacking with Viking isn't bad, because it, either he blocks and your Layla becomes alive, or you get a damage and you're happy to... Well, you're not happy to trade damage, but it's better than doing nothing this turn. Other things to consider this turn would be like going Sarah plus Lena and making a kind of wider board. But the issue with that is you run into the potential of being cherry blossomed. Like, you can't make a big board while the Cherry Blossom Freya is in play, because the Cherry Blossom Freya will kill your board. So, like, yeah, so you kind of want to improve your odds of not getting Cherry Blossomed by always killing the Freya before you make your board. So we'll see what you go with here. Okay, Sarah. Oh no, don't just go to 5 backups. Okay, so going to 5 backups is terrible this turn, because you don't have a board. You're just going to take like 2, maybe 3 damage next turn. You have 5 backups, which is cool, but one of your backups is not Scholar. Without Scholar, Cagnazzo can't clear the big Dragoons, and Cagnazzo is your only way of clearing the board. I'd much rather see a search for like Ashe or something proactive here. Or even just playing the Lena. Alice trigger? Hits. Oof. So really you're at Barbar's mercy here. He has King of Metal Buddha has King of Amicia in hand. I believe still, from the earlier turns. So King of Amicia, take a Barbar, play a Barbar, and then just play out your Dragoons. It's something that you can't do very much about right now. So let's see what the play is here from Metal Buddha. Estinian. Oh, yeah, game. Can't clear Estinian. I mean, I'll see what the cards you draw next turn are, but I'm fairly confident this is just lights out. Ooh, did not go for the Estinian. Win percent. Oh yes, Cherry Blossom. So this turn just gonna attack, yeah. Dragoon players playing it smart. Metal Buddha's realized the only possible way they could lose is like Cagnazzo, Leviathan, Cagnazzo, and some kind of miracle. Porum would have helped with last turn's thingy as well if you drew it. Okay, so what's the biggest Cagnazzo we can make here? We have Cagnazzo really wants to hit for 7, but for that we need 14 water characters. I don't think that's possible. 5, even if we play every single card, saying everything costs 0 CP, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Hey, you could have given it a good run. So best we can do here is Ashe. Sorry. Start every time with Layla Viking. Is Layla Viking Ashe? Ashe turn off the Cherry Blossom. Thing is, really need to turn off the Dragoon, the one that's gaining power, so you can clear it as well. Because we've worked out that the largest we could ever possibly hit is 6,000. So realistically, we're only going to be doing 5,000. With it. Cherry Blossom at the moment is dealing 2, 4, 6, 8,000. No, it's doomed from here, because you will never be able to Kagnazo clear. I mean, you can start by going Ash, go to combat, but the issue is that next turn he's Metal Buddha's just going to be able to use the Dragoon backup to take back the Freya, I believe, and then just Cherry Blossom and wipe everything. So I believe this game is doomed from here. Let's take a look. Later Viking. Famfrit, useless card here. Yep, get back the knight. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Kagnazo makes it 5, and then you get Cherry Blossomed. Has a reaction. Yeah. Cherry Blossom. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's the end of game 1. Okay, cool. They go straight to game 2. Good. This is a good hand. This is a very good hand. Okay, so this hand is really, really, really potent against Dragoons because Ash is a princess, and you have Verxl. The only way they can remove Ash is with the Break Dragoon, but obviously if you have Verxl in play, she will not die to that. So, for instance, what I'm thinking of here is turn 1, Sarah take the 4 CP Ash, play Verxl, then next turn, play Ash. But we'll see. See what the draws are first before I get too excited by the opening hand. Because the downside to what I'm suggesting is that we end up losing 1 or 2 Kagnazos to the drop zone. And it's like technically okay to lose 1 Kagnazo to the drop zone, but if you lose 2 Kagnazos to the drop zone, you're in very big trouble. What's the draw? Famfrit. Okay, so let's think. Verxl, Artemisian, Sarah, Famfrit, Kagnazo. So to play the Sarah, we'd lose Famfrit and Kagnazo, play Sarah, take Ash, then we lose Kagnazo number 2. Okay. So this has the downside of we'd lose all of our Kagnazos, which is no good. So the best thing to do here is to lose the Famfrit to play Artemisian and put 2 Kagnazos to the bottom of your deck, or draw 2. Use the cards that you draw to decide if you're playing either Princess Sarah or Verxl this turn, and then play the other one of the 2 next turn, provided your draws don't change your game plan too much. Okay, so this is the Verxl play. Okay, hold up. Hold the phone. So losing Verxl to do this is correct in like 90% of matchups, because most of the time the Verxl protecting the Ash is not a very relevant effect, and Verxl is just a blank backup. But the fact that you happened to be gifted against Lightning with the ability to play Ash and Verxl on the board at the same time is something you should definitely be looking to take. It's a nightmare for the deck to deal with. The other thing is only putting 1 Kagnazo to the bottom. I know Kagnazo is your only removal effect, but you should put both to the bottom, because you're going to, then you'll have 3 Kagnazos in your deck. I believe you play 3. Let me just double check. Yes, you play 3. You'll have 3 Kagnazos in your deck, and next turn you're playing Sarah to shuffle your deck, so you're going to draw into it, or you're very likely to draw into it by the time you need it, because you don't need this Kagnazo until turn 4/5, so you might as well get it out of here for some other cards. Otherwise you risk having to use it for CP. Okay, but what is but the line that he's picked here is to go for turn 1 Artemisian, turn 2 Sarah plus Princess Sarah, which is, you know, it's a fine play against most decks. It's a fine play against almost everything. It's just because of the nature of this matchup, having the opportunity to do Ash Verxl is too good to miss up. So yeah, you lose that, and the the Lev, play that, take the Princess Sarah here, play Princess Sarah. Unfortunately, because the lines of play that we would have taken have differed so much, I'm gonna have to leave that the line I was talking about before, where now I would have the Artemisian, the Sarah, and the Wrestler in play, and an Ashen Hand. For like that's a whole different kettle of fish now. Oh, he's got Alice again. Oh, of course it's... Sorry, of course, Princess Sarah searches. That's silly of me, not paying attention. So this is a very clear Lena. I think it's okay to lose a Cagnazo, because you have access to Arise. Arise means that you still technically have access to Cagnazo, so... Let's see what happens. He missed his Alice trigger again. Let me just double check that I'm reading Alice right. Yeah, it's when it enters the field. That's the second time opponent has not revealed for Alice on entry, I believe. And in yesterday's games as well, I believe an Alice trigger on entry was missed. I just realised. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, I nearly missed 2 Alice triggers. I wish I was that happy with life, to just spend 5 mana for Alice and miss 2 triggers happily. Sadly, the moment I play an Alice to the field, I'm sweating. Well, I've never played an Alice to the field, but if I did, I would be sweating. I'd be sweating like crazy every time it missed. Have to recover that value somehow. Okay, so now... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I must double check the text on that Dragoon before I say. Sorry, I have to keep double checking text on Dragoons. Because depending on the text on that Dragoon has, we can make a lot of inferences about it, the hand. The 5 CP that has 8k. So there are 2 with very similar art. 5 CP 8k. Sorry, this is detracting from the video, my constant having to double check the text that Dragoons have. 5 CP 8k. If you have cast a job Dragoon or card name Dragoon, the cost to play it is reduced by 3. It gains haste. Okay, right. So. This Dragoon, right, as a 2 CP 8k haste, is an extremely potent card to play this turn. For Metal Buddha. Because the Dragoon will put the Dragoon that he just played up to 7k, which contests the Lena. And I believe it allows it to kill the White Mage. I don't think he can kill the White Mage otherwise. But also, this Dragoon being 8k in haste for the mere cost of 2 mana is insane. So we can start to make we can start to say things about his hand here. If he was to do that play, so if Metal Buddha was to do that play, they would go down to 1 card in hand. So that means that Metal Buddha has at least 2 good cards in his hand, which means we can reasonably assume that Metal Buddha probably has 2 card named Freya in hand. Probably. Including one being the Cherry Blossom one. There are very few other cards that I can think of that would make me not want to do this play. The other thing to consider is if they have a Cherry Blossom Freya in hand, surely the play is to tap 1, discard, play Cherry Blossom Freya, and then discard something else to play this Dragoon and get in for 1. Because then they would be able to preserve. So if we wind it back, they would have 5 cards in hand, tap 1, discard, play it, discard and play it. Then they would have the last Freya. Freya would be the last card in hand. Right? So because, again, they didn't do that, we can also assume that the third card is a good card. What that good card is, I do not have the answer to right now, but that's where I'm at with this. My assumption for the hand is that it's 3 very strong cards to make this play instead of a more proactive on-board play. Also, none of them are probably none of them are backups. So they have 3 very strong forwards in hand is where I'm at, where my headspace is right now. No. Okay, so to put into context what I was saying about them probably having 3 very strong forwards in hand, the correct thing to do here is to start by attacking with the Lena. Okay, the next thing to do is to attack with the White Mage. I believe White Mage has 3,000 power. Let me double check. Yes, it has 3,000 power. Okay. The Dragoon is only 5,000, so the Dragoon already cannot block either of these forwards. You're good to just go attack, see what he does. The best thing for him, for you right now, would be if Metal Buddha, say you did that, you just attack with Lena. Metal Buddha just has to take it because he can't block it. You attack with White Mage, then Metal Buddha can go, maybe I block to preserve a damage and we take the damage. If he blocks, then you can cast Cagnazzo in main 2 and it will clear the Dragoon. Or he takes the damage, in which case then you probably want to play Famfret. As weird as that sounds, the Famfret is only good because we know that we know that Metal Buddha's hand is 3 strong forwards, and you have a second Famfret, so you need to kind of like clear the way, because otherwise the first Famfret's just going to take this Dragoon, which is a kind of a miss. That is probably what I would suggest to do this turn. The Cagnazzo also attack first and then Cagnazzo afterwards is also fine-ish. It's fine-ish. There's no ideal play with this hand, to be honest. Let me rephrase, there's no ideal play with this hand, but it's always correct to attack twice first. And then either Famfret or Cagnazzo both are fine. Miss with the Alice. That's good stuff. Like, is Metal Buddha's hand just too many good cards? Is that the dilemma that Metal Buddha is faced with right now? They have just got too many good cards in hand and don't know what to do with them all. Because that's what it looks like from my perspective. Another Dragoon, okay. Another Dragoon. It's 9k, so Cagnazzo unfortunately would die if it blocked. See, this is what I was saying about the that's what I was trying to say about the Famfrets. Oh, we win. We win. I believe. Well, we don't win per se. So, here the Sildra is very good because it can get us Brani and Scholar. And then we have Cagnazzo Scholar, so we can actually defend ourselves. Something like pitch Gilgamesh, tap to play Sildra, Sildra Search, Brani and Scholar. So it's 6 in hand, we tap 2, discard 1, play Sildra, go back to 6, then tap 1, discard a Famfret probably, play Brani, Brani Search Viking, pitch Viking, play the Scholar down, then in hand we have access to Lena, Cagnazzo, and Famfrit. Other options are Sildra plus Arise, but it's important you end up floating a mana if you do that, so I think I prefer this line better. Other things to consider would be taking Brane plus Layla, but I'm fairly confident that a Scholar is needed to win this game. I'd really like to put the Gilgamesh Knight in play using Arise, but unfortunately there's nothing for the Gilgamesh to, you know, revive, so it's kind of pointless. Yep. Thinking hard. Scholar, yes. Ooh. Strager, I'm not too sure about. Very good to take the Scholar, though. Oh, wants to push damage. Wait, what? Okay, right. So, I thought that the Strago was taken because damage wanted to be pushed. So, for example, you would go tap 1, discard Famfrit, play Strago, Strago return the huge Dragoon to hand, play Scholar, then Lena's as large as the other Dragoons, so you always push 1 damage this turn, that way. And then you still have you always push 1 damage that way, and then you have Strago in play, and either Lena is still in play with the White Mage, or they're not in play. Or the Lena's not in play, and one of the Dragoons is also not in play. And no matter what happens, this way you push 1 damage. This... yeah, okay. Let's see what Alice does this turn. Kane is a problem. It's too large. The other reason to want to reduce the board is, yeah, remember, how many turns ago was it? 2 or 3 turns ago? Through deductive reasoning, we could work out that the player definitely has Freya and Cherry Blossom, or is very likely to have Freya and Cherry Blossom in hand. If you don't try and reduce their board size, you're just gonna get Cherry Blossomed. So what's this? Cherry Blossom plus Barbara. And Kane. Maybe there's no Cherry Blossom. Maybe Metal Buddha just played this Freya for show. Probably actually just thinks the Cherry Blossom here isn't enough value. Because Metal Buddha gets to push damage with 3 of their Dragoons anyway. And then save Cherry Blossom for the inevitable Cagnazzo. This is awkward. There's just no good proactive plays. Game is doomed. Well, it was doomed. Not turn 1, but it was doomed a while later. I think maybe on the Sildra might have been the nail in the coffin. Heavily hindered the turn when Cagnazzo was played, because the cards that you drew were just so bad that Cagnazzo was one of the only viable options that turn. But yeah, very cursed game. Let's take a look. What I'm deciding to do. How long does it take for the Cherry Blossom to come out? A lot of thinking. math going on, trying to work out if it's possible to basically Cagnazo clear. Up until the Lena. Did I miss an attack? Maybe it was an attack. Nazo. 1, 2, 3. It's only doing 6. It's just not enough. Cherry Blossom. Yep. See. This could all have been deduced. So his hand back then was 2 of these Freyas, which is why I didn't want to play it out. 2 of these Freyas plus, I believe, maybe one of the Dragoons that he played at that point in time. So even though right now it looks like hindsight, actually at the time when they made a funky looking play and finished with 3 in hand, that is exactly when you could have known that this is that's when you could have known that this is the trajectory the game is going to go in, and the way that you need to avoid that is by trading 1 for 1. Even though trading 1 for 1 is terrible against Alice, but you need to keep their dudes off of the board to stop them getting a big enough board to be able to use Cherry Blossom. Yeah, fanfare and stuff, but this game's just done. Then as I failed. I'm just gonna skip towards the end, see if anything happens. Oh no. Yeah, we're dead, 100%. Okay. So yeah, let me just highlight some of the key points real quick. Game 1 was so long ago, I can't remember. Oh yeah, game 1 was this turn. This turn, key point this turn. It's luck if the Viking is going to let you use all of your mana this turn, so you're better off using the Lena here to build a big board. The other thing that you could do is Viking and then like lose 2 cards, play Lena, and then lose a card, play Rosa, and go all in, which also works. That also works. Don't get me wrong, that's also a line. But going Viking plus, like, was it White Mage I think you played in the end? That was not a line. Yeah, that was not a line. Very weak line because it left up 1 mana. Very, you need to be very efficient because with Alice, every other turn they're getting at least +2 mana, so they're getting probably +1.5 mana, I would say, roughly. +1.5 mana every turn. So they're getting like a card and a half up on you every turn. Every time you leave up 1 mana, you're down half a card. So like you're gonna run out of stuff too quickly if you're playing inefficiently against them. Also holding on to Leviathan is nonsense in this matchup. But we worked that out later. Then I think there was a turn somewhere where it was possible. I think it might have been, was it this turn? Maybe? I think there was a turn where some kind of play was possible the turn before. I can't remember exactly, but the important thing was being efficient and not going to 5 backups without one of them being Scholar against this deck. And if you're going to try a Cagnazo, you have to play the Ash first to blank the Cherry Blossom Freya, otherwise you just get Cherry Blossoms. And then in game 2, it was the opening hand was one of the mistakes, where you had the potential to set up Ash Wrestler against a Lightning deck, which is lights out. And then there was some other mistakes, well, lots of things I pointed out further down the line. But yeah, you have to keep the Dragoon board state simple to beat them. I think that's enough for this one. I'll see you guys next time. And remember to send more videos in.